Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my Vulnerably Badass YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about my first hike on the Appalachian Trail. So as some of you already know that Friday is my Freedom Friday. My husband goes to work and my son goes to school. And I don't schedule work usually, so it's like after I drop off my son to the time I pick up my son, I have free time. So I usually do my long walk or hike on Fridays. So I think it was 2 Fridays ago, I decided that I want to visit the Shenandoah National Park again. The first time was back in April, and back then, because I wasn't sure how big the national park is and how scary it is to hike, so I just did a trail that is not the Appalachian Trail. That was the closest to the visitor center. But this time I wanted to go back and try the Appalachian Trail. So I went back after I dropped off my son in the morning. I drove 1.5 hours to go to the Shenandoah National Park, and I used my military pass again to save $35 fee. Thank you to my husband and military and American government. The first place I stopped was Dickey Ridge Visitor Center, which was the last time I parked my car. The reason I visited was because I needed to go to the bathroom, and I know in the trail there's no bathroom either. So I stopped and went to use the bathroom, and I drove a little bit farther to south, and this time I tried the Appalachian Trail. And there is a place called Compton Gap. At that place there is a parking lot, so a lot of people hike there too. And I found on the app All Trails that there is about 8-kilometer hiking trail, which takes about 2 hours and 50 minutes. So I found that and I thought, oh, this is good. I mean, 8K is nothing because I walk 7K every day, which usually on the flat ground it takes an hour and 20 minutes for me, but because it's hiking, climbing mountain, it said it takes 2 hours and 52 minutes. So it's about 3 minutes. And I was thinking, thinking about the time that I drive, which is 3 hours back and forth, and I have to be back by a certain time to pick up my son. So I figured, like, I would really like to hike longer than 8K, 10K or 15K, but thinking about the time limit, I thought 8K was more realistic. And I decided to hike from Compton Gap to Jenkins Gap and back, which is 8K. This time the difference is I bought shoes. Before I just used like walking running shoes, but this time I bought Asics trail run kind of shoes. It's not hiking shoes or trail shoes. Next time I want to try, but it's in between, right? Like hiking, trail, running shoes. And another first thing was I used like hiking stick. I don't know how you call it, because my husband happened to have one. I borrowed it, I used it because the All Trails suggestion said you need 1 or 2. So I brought it. And the third new thing is I use my backpack. So far or before, what I did was I just put things in my pocket and just walk around. But now I feel like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. I could be lost or something. So I made sure that I have, water and all the stuff, and like drinks and the trail mix that I made on my own. So if anything happens, I'm okay. So that was a big difference. I had a backpack. And then what I did was I got to the Compton peak. It's not peak, a little bit off the peak, but there is where a big rock is, and you can see the nice view. And it was really soothing, nice. And I got there, and what I did was I was like, I want to take selfie. I usually take selfie, so I was taking selfie, but I remember somebody saying that Apple Watch has a remote function. So like, maybe I can try. And I use my phone and I use my backpack and pole to kind of support the phone, and I tried, and I was surprised. I mean, I sound like really someone who don't know any technology, but I thought the Apple Watch function was just pressing the button and just remote, but I was so surprised that you can even see the actual picture, or like you moving the screen on the face, so you know how your picture will look like. So I was like, wow, this is great. So I took a picture, but the best picture I liked the best was I decided I wanted to meditate because it was so peaceful and so calm, and you hear birds and wind, and it was the perfect place for meditation. So I was meditating, and I'm like, maybe I can take a picture of me meditating. So I set the timer and meditate, and I took the picture, and that's my favorite picture. And so I was happy. Then I kept hiking. So the 8K, it wasn't really bad, but of course it was hiking, so it's different from just walking every day 7K. Up hills, my heart rate went up, and I had to kind of stop at some point and like breathe. And also, a lot of stepping up and also going down. Going up, I didn't really feel any pain or anything, but I was conscious that, I'm using different muscles than usual. But stepping down, what I felt was like my ankles, I have to be careful because I could hurt them. So that's something I felt different. But afterwards, I didn't have any sore muscle or any pain, so I'm grateful for that. And after 8K, I felt really good. And I went to the visitor center again to use the bathroom, and also I went to the, park shop? I don't know, not museum shop, but the visitor shop, I don't know, souvenir shop. And I was looking at t-shirts. There were so cute design t-shirt and bears, and that kind of reminded me like, okay, so this park is, I have to be careful. Bears can be there because I hiked alone. But the designs were nice, and I was like, I want them, but the size looked too big. Probably the size that fit me is like maybe kid size, so I wasn't sure if I want to buy them or not. So I said, I will come back, so maybe I will think about it later. And another thing that kind of got my attention was books that were there. And there are so many books, but one of the books that caught my eyes was called 100 Parks, 5,000 Ideas. And I was looking through, and of course Shenandoah National Park was there, and other national parks or historical parks were there, and it was like different states, and I got really excited, like, wow, I want to visit all these 500 parks, and 100 parks, and at least, even if not all 100, at least the parks that's near this area, Northern Virginia or DC, DMV area, right? So I was like, I really want to buy it. And it's not that expensive, but I don't know. I always have this thing about always want to buy it, but I don't buy it kind of habit. Like, I want to buy it, but let's buy this next time I come back, and if I'm still interested. So I kind of put the book back. But still, you know, this idea of getting a book about national parks and making a plan where to visit next, or going to different states and trying different national parks, or different activities, that kind of excites me. And I felt like I'm becoming more and more nature nerd, or national park nerd, or geek, or otaku, which again makes me feel happy. You know, every time I feel like, oh, am I becoming otaku, nerd, or geek? I'm happy. But yeah, who knows? It might become my new hobby, because I'm so into walking in the nature now. Yeah, so maybe next time I go back, maybe I will buy the book, or maybe even before I go there, I might get it on Amazon. So I look forward to going back. So my question to you is, what are the things that excite you, you know, and what are the things that you look forward to, or, you know, just merely looking at the list kind of excites you? I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. See you next time.